guess what? We're live. It is the very first episode of our new coverage of our brand new game coming to Live Reality Games and coming to your YouTube near you. I'm Naomi Calhoun. We're talking about Scotty Survivor, the very first season, right, Shane?
Yep, very first season.
Very first season. I'm so excited. And first of all, I just want to introduce two of my LRG network co-hosts, co-founders, the ones in charge. It's Dustyn and Kirk. Dustyn and Kirk, how are you?
I am super well. I'm super excited for this diverse cast. Everyone is a character in itself, and I can't wait to talk about everyone. Kirk?
I'm happy you guys had me on. I love being able to jump in and do one with Dustyn. We rarely get to do this, so I'm stoked, and I'm really excited to meet both you, Shane, and you, Lee.
Yes, this is a blast, and we have a new podcaster to the network. We have Lee all the way from straight up Ireland. Lee, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me here. It's my first live podcast, and what better season than Scotty Survivor starting it off?
It's perfect. I feel like maybe people should at least know the difference between Scotland and Ireland. They don't get those two mixed up at the very least, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. And we have
other countries.
They are. Get it right, folks. And we have with us Shane. Shane, do you want to introduce yourself and your role in the Scotty Survivor existence?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Shane. I am the co-founder and co-host of Scotty Survivor. So I'm just really excited to get to talk to you guys about this season, which is airing 1 week from today. We've been putting a lot of crazy hard work into this, considering we only filmed last semester, so like a couple months ago. So I'm just really excited to get it out there.
I mean, we're thrilled. I feel very stressed every time you tell me that the season only took place like 6 months ago, and that you're cranking it out. But I'm so excited because who doesn't love a good season of Survivor? So what we're doing today is we're talking about every single member of the cast. We're going to talk about who they are, what their major is, some little tidbits about them. But then we're also going to talk a little bit about the relationships that exist within the cast. Some people know each other. Shocker, it's a college campus. And then we're also going to talk about maybe who we think might be the first boot, who we think might be the winner. And then somebody's going to get some bragging rights at the end of this, should they make the correct pick. So starting off, who do we have first in the slideshow, Dustyn and Kirk? Let's hit it.
Well, honestly, I just went alphabetical, so feel free if you want to switch it up at all. So first up on our list, all the way from Chile, Amara.
So Shane, do you want to give us a little background about this season and like how it started? I should have asked that first, but let's do that while we talk about Amara.
Yeah, so this season was the brainchild of myself and Govan Menon, who is another student at Carnegie Mellon, and we play like Survivor games online together. He got me into like the kind of like org community, and we were just like talking about like college Survivor one night, and he was like, what if we like did one? I said, that's a great idea, especially considering that there's nothing happening on campus because of the pandemic. So we kind of pitched it to our school, and they were thrilled to make it happen. And we got a corporate sponsorship from Xfinity too. So there was a lot happening here. And part of the season is on Zoom and part of it is not, based on what was going on with COVID. So several times we had to go back to Zoom and then in person if we were approved. But yeah, it really just took off in the middle of July, and the rest was history.
Awesome. I mean, you guys really went through the ringer on this one, and it's only the first season. So we have Amara. Can you tell us, Shane, a little bit about Amara?
Yeah, so Amara is a senior acting major from Chile. First time I met her was the interview, and I was instantly drawn to her. I knew that we had to cast her right then and there. I knew she was a character. I knew that she was not afraid to speak her mind. And I figured what better than to put like a very extroverted person on the cast than her. And she was like somebody that I very much was looking forward to watching play.
And is she familiar with Survivor at all? What do you know what drew her to apply?
Yeah, so she's not a Survivor fan. However, she's always wanted to be on reality TV. So this was kind of like her way to get into that. Maybe an agent will sign her. It was her, kind of thought process after seeing her play on this. So that's how she kind of got into this. She just wanted to be on a reality TV show, and it popped right into her lap.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Dustyn and Kirk, what do you think?
I really love, like she said, her dope energy. She's going to bring that. I'm super excited. She had so much positivity in her little, what did we get, like 30 seconds from each contestant almost? But I really feel connected and drawn to her. And I really want to wish her the best of luck. Like, I want to see her go, like, really super far. I don't want to say, like, all the way quite yet, but super far, at least.
I'll say all the way. I have Amara in my top 3. After watching the videos, Shane, exactly what you said kind of like cements my decision to put her in the top 3 because you said you met her and you were drawn to her. I watched her video and I was drawn to it. She is an actress, so this is going to be an asset to her game, but also possibly a detriment too, because people don't always trust actors. So that if she can get past that and she can pull out like a Dan from Big Brother and she can mist some of these younger students, I think she's got a huge potential to go super deep into this game.
Oh my gosh. Amara's missed coming to you soon. Lee, what do you think of Amara?
I absolutely love her. I really want her to make it far. I actually have her top 4. I see her getting cut 4th. Because I think she's going to have so many connections on the jury. People are going to realize that they can't take her to final 2 or final 3. I really hope she makes it far. Usually people with acting majors do very well in College Survivor history, to my knowledge. They usually make a deep merge, early merge at the latest. So I'm very excited for her. Please don't send her home early. Cast.
Yeah. There's a bit of a history of like acting majors not doing super great on College Survivor. No offense to them. I think they come in confident in their lying skills, but they're never actually as good at lying as they think they are. And then Dustyn just reminded we forgot to make announcements because look, I woke up from a nap like 15 minutes ago, so I'm not gonna lie. But Dustyn, go ahead, hit us. What are the announcements?
I think Kirk has some too, but I'll start with the schedule for this week. It's just amazing. We're talking about, of course, Scotty Survivor today. We're covering Surviving Maine tomorrow, and then on Thursday, a new episode of Liberty University also hits. So I know we have a lot going on for the calendar, but it's just like any kind of broadcast TV. We're pretty much 7 to 9 almost every day. Kirk?
Make sure if you're watching us on YouTube, you're hitting subscribe to get more notifications. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you're going into the viewer groups. We have viewer groups for all of our shows, including one for Scotty Survivor, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can get all of your information right there. As well, we are currently doing a fundraiser for the cost of our StreamYard. You can find information about that on YouTube and on Facebook if you'd like to support us further. Thanks, guys.
That is correct. And also, Shane, I just want to let you know that somebody who has adopted a cartoon character as their aesthetic has said that you're so handsome that they're looking forward to watching every episode. And Mazel Tov, congratulations. We've done it. Shane, you're muted. You can't thank them if you're muted.
God dang technology. I'll take the compliment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Onion. Leo says onions are very wise. We're getting the ball rolling here. So, yeah, I think the best thing about Amara, let's get back to Amara for a second, is just I think that she is really likable and really funny. And I think we actually... I think that people who have the sort of charisma that it takes to be a good actor really do go far in this game, but usually it's the overconfidence that does them in. So I'm excited to see where Amara leads. So Dustyn, who do we have next?
We have Anthony, I believe. Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh. Shane, tell me about Anthony. I need to know.
Where do I start with Anthony? So we knew right away with Anthony. Same thing with Amara. Like very drawn into right away. You know, I don't want to say that there's like a common misconception at Carnegie Mellon that like PhD students like don't like talk, but like there is. And he was so talkable, so likable. I had no idea what Survivor was at all, but just wanted to like meet friends because it was his first year here. Obviously, from this picture, you can tell that he's like not afraid to like be a character. He definitely is just a really friendly guy, and we definitely got the vibe from him that he could either be like somebody who would have a super moral compass during the game, or like just stir shit up just to stir shit up. So there was a lot of layers going on there with Anthony, and we were just really, really intrigued by him.
The first thing I'll say is that Anthony, I'm thinking of another iconic PhD college Survivor student we just had, which was Dr. Will from Survivor Michigan. So if he's anything like him, I can't wait to watch this whole season. Like Anthony has that sort of crazy personality, I think, already, and I'm very excited. Lee, what do you think of Anthony?
I had the same comparison to Will from Michigan. Like, I was thinking, I'm getting very much Will vibes from him. Like, I don't know if it's just because he's like the older character, like Will was in his season. I can see him being super paranoid like Will. See, I actually have him top 5.
Oh.
I do see him making it far, but I do see him being in the alliance that is in the minority at the merge, and they just keep him around because he's the least threatening, and then cut him at final 5 with this strong 4. I can just see that happening, but we'll see if he can maybe make it to top 3, top 2, and cut that 4. He can be someone that can infiltrate a majority and replace someone.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this backstory. My backstory for Anthony was a lot limited. My Anthony story like quits out at like pre-merge. Like for Anthony, I just find like his fun fact, he was evicted from his first apartment. Obviously, he made someone mad or he did something wrong. So I could see this, how it could haunt him in his gameplay. Like maybe he will do something and everyone will be like, oh yeah, let's get Anthony out. So that's just my prediction. Early pre-merge.
You know, I want to say we have not compared any notes at all prior to this. So I have no idea what he's going to say, but I do agree somewhat with you. I do have him pre-merge, but that's Naomi and Lee, the fact that you attributed him to Dr. Will, this makes me think I'm totally wrong right now. The one thing I'm going to give Anthony is, you know, in College Survivor, they get a true, authentic Survivor experience, except you don't get the hunger and the sleep deprivation unless you're a PhD student. So watching Anthony make ramen, he's actually going to be surviving like a survivor, living off of ramen for an entire semester, being so busy. He's the only PhD student. And I feel like maybe that's going to be a deficit because he potentially could be so encumbered by deadlines, being so busy, etc. So I would be happy to see Anthony go far if he's going to play like Dr. Will.
Yeah, something I've always said, especially this was a huge problem in Survivor Maryland for a lot of people, is they were too busy to really participate in the game. And so we see this time and time again. People who don't have enough time to dedicate to the game often don't go very far. And I hope that doesn't happen for Anthony because I think Anthony is very funny and I would like to see a lot of Anthony on my screen. As Leo says, Dr. Zaddy, we stand. I love the comments so much, truly, on this, and I hope that this energy is here every single week. Shane, anything else you want to tell us about Anthony?
No, I think you guys had some really interesting thoughts about Anthony. I think I'll leave it there.
Okay. Well, now I should say that Amara was on the Purple Tribe, the Balder Tribe, and Anthony is on the Orange Tribe, the Ogun Tribe. Where do these tribe names come from? Are we going to find that out? Is this a you decision? Is this a them decision?
This was an us decision. We'll put it in the first episode. We've got some fun graphics, so I'm going to just wait to have that be revealed.
Cool.
If you made the graphics, why you can't spoil it?
Yeah,
you put all that work in.
They got like little animations and stuff. We're gonna leave it.
Exactly.
Wait,
Excited.
just a quick question. Do we know who's on which tribe?
We got a little behind the scene information.
Oh, okay. I see. A little extra info so you get the winner pick this time.
It was shared
Okay.
to our group chat.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, let's see who is up next. I love the hiding it because it feels kind of like a drum roll. Like, who's next?
Up next, honestly, one of my personal favorites. So, okay, we have Audrey. I am so excited to see her. I know we'll get to Shane in the behind the scenes, but let me say, like, I am super excited to see her play. She seems like she really wants a connection to the game, something exciting. And her fun fact was she lived in Belgium for a few years too. So that means she's maybe a little more adventurous than what her video tended to be. So I don't know. That's just my quick 2 thoughts about Audrey. Shane?
Yes. Well, I was going to say Audrey on the Orange Tribe, Comp Sci freshman, as we see. Yeah, Shane, hit us up. What's Audrey's deal?
Yeah, Audrey, initially I was kind of like, wow, she's really quiet. I don't know how the game would like treat her just because she's new here. Like, she already seems pretty introverted. But we got the sense that she was willing to like kind of be a little sneaky. And I think that, I'm not going to give too much away, but I think that will start to come through like very early on. And I think there's a lot more to Audrey than she gives off in either an interview setting or in her 10-second intro video that literally just said who she was and where she was from. Audrey has a lot more layers to her than she gives off, and I think that was really interesting to watch.
All right. Lee, what do you think of Audrey?
She seems sweet. I have her going first.
You are not the only one. Oh my Lord. And there's something about freshmen too. I think we've seen a couple of freshmen go pretty early in college Survivor seasons. I think that's mean. I needed friends as a freshman. I wouldn't do that. Lee, what do you think makes her a first boot?
Not just that she's a freshman, but like Shane said, where she came off, like she didn't say much in her interview. She just said who she was and where she was. It's just not much to go off, so that makes me think maybe there's not much to go off because there's not much of her in the show. She seems nice.
That's the thing when you go on a date and you get introduced. He's nice. Well, okay.
Right.
Maybe she'll prove me wrong. Like Shane said that she has many layers. Maybe that means she goes home second.
Okay. I want
All
to
right.
Can I defend Audrey for 1 second?
Yes.
Audrey is in a major that has a few other contestants in her major that are also freshmen. That's all I'm going to say before we get to it. And I do have that as a potential thing, but I picked one first boot female and one first boot male in the cast, and I also picked Audrey. And here is why. It's the same reason, Lee, because we don't have much to go off of, and there wasn't that thing that hooked me. Had we seen her sounding sneaky, that might have been what hooked me. But for right now, I don't know. Unless this alliance that could potentially be there picks her up, I don't know how far she's going to go.
Mm. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to shift a little differently because Shane does have to go. So let's just run through everybody, and then we'll give our assessments after. So we get as much Shane as possible. So who do we have next, Dustyn and Kirk, on the list? Corey. Corey's looking very confident, Shane. What do we have to know about Corey?
Yeah, this vibe that he gives off is the opposite of who he is as a person. Imagine my surprise when this was the picture submitted. I mean, aspects to this that are true. However, Corey is definitely more on the, like, I would say, wholesome side. And so I think that was really interesting. Sorry about the train that's going by. Very interesting to watch him play because he is so different from this vibe that I have seen in like a in a personal setting. And I got that through the interview too. So even though I do know him in like a more personal setting, I definitely saw a lot of that in him in the game. So yeah, that's what I got to say about Corey.
Yeah, Corey is very just cool. All right, up next,
Dorothy, another quiet one. But Dorothy was definitely one of, I don't want to say one of the larger Survivor fans, but definitely knew more about Survivor than like your average person. I think we chose a lot of people in this cast that were not quite, they didn't know anything about Survivor. We picked a lot of people like that just because we were like, this is a great opportunity for them to learn.
You want a messy season. Is that what you're asking for?
And Dorothy definitely knew a little bit more. I got the sense from her that she was going to be a little bit more like cut and dry, and like she would make moves that would, benefit her and not anybody else. Just from the interview, I just had a feeling that Dorothy would be somebody who would inadvertently cause chaos by not like outwardly, but just by her decisions.
Okay, Dorothy, we'll talk about you later. And up next, we have Elle.
All right. When Elle walked in the interview room, I got a very different vibe from this picture. This picture shows off a kind of like very angry, like kind of like
very Lord melodrama.
Yeah.
For me.
Elle is like one of the sweetest people ever. And I mean, this vibe definitely like accurately, represents the fact that you don't want to piss her off for sure. But she's definitely a very, very nice person. And I think that will be representative of how she plays too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Up next,
Eric. Oh boy. This guy came in confident. He thought he was going to be on top of the world. Eric was somebody that I thought we just had to pick because he was more of the like athletic type, somebody that would be kind of like useful early on that people would see as like maybe a threat later on. And he would just get so cocky that he would implode. And I definitely saw the vibes from him that he was just going to be super cocky. But what I also saw was that he was an innocent little freshman. So I thought that there were like two sides to him there. So I thought that would be really interesting, but definitely very cocky.
Yes, and everybody who's commenting, we will get to your comments when we circle back around. But I see them and some hot takes here in this comment section. All right, up next, Dustyn, we've Hallie Haley. How do you pronounce this?
Yeah.
Hallie.
Yeah. So Hallie was like somebody that I completely did not expect to know as much about Survivor as he did. And when he walked in the room and he started talking about like wanting to play like a villain, I was like, oh, this will be good because he came in and he was like the most bubbly, like nice guy, like energy, like I said, innocent little freshman. But like you start going through picking his brain and it is like very devious and has like a lot of different like plans already before he'd even started playing the game. So I was like, this kid is a cast right away. And he was on the very last interview too. So it was a very strong impression he gave off.
I'm looking forward to talking way more about Hallie. Let us move on. I say that in a very adult way. I feel like the problem is this season is so recent that these are all children to me. No offense. I'm sure you're all very adult-like, but you're all children to me. So I say this in the nicest way. Jacob. Hello, Jacob. Shane, what's Jacob's deal?
Jacob is definitely, when he walked into the interview room, I got the very like strategic sense from him. And not afraid to show his strategic sense to people. I didn't get the sense that he would try to hide that. And he seems to be the type of person who's like very focused on like winning or like, making sure that he's like in the numbers or like that kind of thing. And he definitely kind of throughout the interview gave vibes that he was going to like put himself first, despite that. So I was very intrigued to see what would happen if we threw him on a tribe with a lot of very extroverted people, and see how kind of he fared and how he would fit in, because he was definitely more on the quiet side, more soft-spoken. But definitely, yeah, that's what I have to say about Jacob.
I mean, Queens, New York. I think I legally have to root for him as I podcast to you from Queens, New York. All right, Dustyn and Kirk, who is next on the list? Jarrell,
yeah.
Jarrell.
You know what? That's a consistent storyline for the first episode. Everybody mispronouncing his name. Yeah. So Jarrell. Jarrell. I didn't really know what to expect with Jarrell, because when I first met him, I was like, oh, he's just like a freshman. And then I remembered that he's from Singapore and he's been in the army, because that's, a Singapore thing that they do. And then I was like, oh, this kid is definitely like more strategic than he kind of is letting on. And we saw that right away. Definitely Jarrell is a strategist. And he has no problem hiding that. Very public about his strategy. So yeah.
Okay. His fun fact concerns me, but we don't have time to talk about this right now. We're moving on to the next player on the list, Kevin. Another California.
Yeah, Kevin is very, very outspoken. Lights up a room when he talks. One disadvantage that Kevin had was he was playing the season remotely. And so the season started in a remote format. So he was in California, while the rest of the people were in Pittsburgh. So that's definitely a disadvantage that he had, but he was not afraid to monopolize on that.
Hey, come to LA. We'll go to Rodeo Drive, or said that'd be funny. That would be very funny. Although he's probably in San Ramon, sounds like San Diego. Or, I don't know. I don't know LA. Let's move on. Not LA, California. I'm bad at geography. I was bad in college. Let's move on to okay, pronounce this. Sorry,
Cushy.
I'm too tired.
Cushy. So another San Ramon, California. Fun fact, we didn't know this before. We cast both Kevin and Cushy, but they went to the same high school, and there's a little bit of history there. And so we put them on the same tribe, not knowing that there's that kind of history there. And we just figured these are the two remote players in the game. We should probably put them together so they're not just like picked off immediately because they're remote. But we did not know that they went to the same high school. Cushy is definitely one of the more like fun, bubbly people on the season. She's definitely not afraid to do like some of the riskier things. Our first challenge was like a scavenger hunt type thing, not to give too much away, but Cushy prank called Domino's to try to get some boba. She's a character.
I can't wait. Shout out to Cushy. We're coming back to it all. Leo, hello, Leo.
Leo, in his intro video, it said that he would bring unequivocal joy to the season. In his interview, we got ultra villain vibes. Ultra villain. Yes. I do also know Leo, and he's very. His humor is very dark, and so I think that will be highlighted to the other people, and I think he will play. And kind of talk to the other contestants in his usual manner. And he's just a character. Every time he opened his mouth, I laughed. So there was just always funny things coming from Leo.
Wow. Leo took a very villainous picture here. It's very foreboding. All right. Dustyn and Kirk, who do we have next? May. Hello, May.
May. Yeah. So May, oh, by the way, it's going back to Leo really quick. One of the biggest super fans we have on this season.
Okay. He's the super fan.
May also has seen some Survivor, not a ton, but has seen some. and definitely intends on playing a very loyal, honest approach to the game. Wants to like be in an alliance and stay true to that, and just kind of like play the game with like very, very strong integrity, and just like an overall very nice person. I don't think I know a lot of people that have anything bad to say about May.
Okay. May looking like a winner pick for me. All right, next up. I know we only have 4 left.
Mikey Ells, as he dubs himself, another huge super fan, and I think he's gonna try to downplay it. So we'll have to see how that plays out for him. But he is another character. You know, anybody in the arts that comes on this show, it's just they're very entertaining to watch, because they're used to entertaining people, and Michael is no exception. He definitely is a very strategic person, as well, and just wants to be friends with everybody, and just kind of vibe. Essentially, were his words.
Okay. All right, Olivia. Yeah,
Olivia is probably in the best way possible, one of the most batshit insane people I have ever met. I love her to death, but she is definitely out there, as everybody is in this cast. Very outspoken, very bubbly, very loud. Definitely the type to get in your face. In a game like Survivor, that was a producer's dream. Is somebody who's going to, be loud, be like in your face. And so she was, in my mind, a perfect cast for that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sarah.
Yeah. So Sarah, definitely another Survivor fan. Olivia had never watched Survivor, by the way. Or like she had when she was a little kid. Sarah, definitely another Survivor fan, but a little bit less known than other, she doesn't know as many seasons as some of the other super fans.
Mm-hmm.
Started with Winners at War and then kind of worked her way back.
It's a choice.
It is a choice. And she says it's a choice a lot in her confessionals, so you're picking up her lingo already. Sarah, when she walked into her interview, another villain, is not afraid to kind of cross people. She looks very sweet and nice, and I think if people cross her, she's gonna just bring the heat. So Sarah definitely gave us the vibe that she was gonna put a lot into the game and invest a lot of time.
I can't wait.
Zoey. Okay, so Zoey was probably the most controversial contestant in this entire bunch, just because of her intro video. Because these intro videos were played to the entire cast. And so
shady.
So everybody had something to say about the singing video that she posted. So some people loved it, some people hated it. It was a choice. And Zoey definitely probably left the strongest first impression on people, whether it was positive or negative. People remembered Zoey.
I can't wait. Oh my God. We're going to have so much to talk about. You got about 10 more minutes and then I know you got to go, or maybe you got to go. Shane, you do whatever you need to do, but we're so glad that you're here with us to begin with. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
So what can you tell us about this season in general? Like, is there a theme that you went with, or it's just, hey, this is the first season, here's what we're doing, we're making Survivor?
Yeah, this was all about, it was the first season. It was just kind of getting our footing, kind of figuring out what we were doing. We had a prod team of 6 people, so that is really, really tough. And we started with 3, so
oh my God.
Yeah, it was all about really just getting our footing and figuring it all out, and just trying to make a great first season. So we kind of kept it back to basics a little bit. We definitely threw in a couple of wrenches because every single season of Survivor has them. So it was by no means easy for them, but I wouldn't say it was full of twists left and right.
Right.
We're
Yeah,
not going to see any Edge of Extinctions.
God no. God no.
The extra extinction in a college game is just where you have to sit on the quad for like 4 months and then you get to come back in the game later. That'd be insane. And Shane, when you think about this season, like what people that are going to watch, what do you think they should expect? Like, what's the words to sort of say this season is all about, the Jeff Probst weirdness of it all?
This season, that's a tough question. This season, I guess I'll just kind of give like a foreshadowing. This season starts off coming in hot. It does not wait around. People are not playing games. I'll just say that. And it might slow down here or there, but every week was unpredictable. We had no idea what was going through these people's brains. This season had focused a lot on testing people's loyalties. And that's always the case in Survivor. But here, a lot of personal relationships were developed. And it really tested those relationships throughout the time. So we see a lot of people having internal conflicts about, screwing over their friends, like more so than I would expect. And it plays a really central storyline in the show. Even if they're not like friends, people are worried about like screwing over people in their majors or, people that they know a friend of a friend. Like there was a lot of that. And, gotta say, idols played a huge part in season 2. So expect idols, idolmania. It's everywhere. So it'll be very present.
Yeah. That's what I love is that you guys already have something else going on. So we're not stopping anytime soon. The train has just left the station of Scotty Survivor. Dustyn and Kirk or Lee, do you have anything else that you want to talk about before Shane heads out?
You were mentioning about like voting each other out as friends and like knowing each other. I think we can relate, and I can think this is understandable to us, having tried to vote him out a number of times in games. So I feel like it's going to be connectable for us, and we're going to understand it at a different level.
Yeah, it's very interesting to watch. Right off the bat, you see people's initial like attraction towards one another, just they're drawn. And I don't mean just in like a game wise too. So play into a factor as
Hey
well.
now.
We always love a love story.
Yeah, and College Survivor
I'm
is
a love story for you to follow. I'm just saying there might be some motivation there.
Oh my. I'll be right back.
Have we ever had like a College Survivor showmance? Because I can only think of one.
I can think of one.
I can think of the most iconic one that I think of, which is Shannon and Chris T. But that's just me.
Oh, I forgot about them.
And Ryan.
Oh, and UVA, Brian and Margaret.
Yeah, Ryan and Margaret.
I loved
we had
that.
Carly on Boston, so Marlon and maybe Max and Carly, but Carly.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about them as well. I was thinking Bailey and Isabella from Boston.
Oh my God,
we have lots of options.
Apparently a lot.
Yeah.
Subtract what I said about there being barely any. There's too many.
Who do you guys think? Okay, Naomi and Lee and Dustyn. Who do you think might hook up in the cast? Who do you think would actually fall into a showmance?
No idea.
I'm an adult. I don't want to.
I'm going to put it out there. I think all of those actors.
Well, yes.
Kirk,
you literally. Yeah, you say this with love, but also from a drama kid perspective. Yeah, all of the acting majors.
I'm not saying that there are any active showmances. All I'm just saying is that people's attraction to each other could be used as strategy.
And we love to see it. We love a Black Widow. We love a, and a moment of manipulation I'm very excited for.
I'm just looking through the cast. I'm like, which one of these girls is going to hit on Corey?
All right. I mean, before I leave, I do want to kind of hear your guys' thoughts on who you think will win. So, I don't know,
Okay.
if you have any thoughts?
You want quick winner picks?
Yeah, quick pick.
I think May is my winner pick. She's smart. She's in biomedical engineering. She's a junior. She's gotten used to the social of college. May is my pick so far, but that might change. We got a whole podcast.
I'm gonna stick early. We said you weren't a fan of Audrey. However, I'm gonna choose Audrey as my first winner pick. I do have 4 like in the running for winner picks, but I'll stick with Audrey if you want a name right off the bat. I will do Audrey. So
Who are the 4?
May, Olivia, and Cushy as well. So
All right.
all the females get fired for me. Sorry.
I'm going with experience. I'm also going with females, which I don't know why. It's just I feel like the females in this cast really stand out as some strong women, eccentric personalities, interesting personalities, characters for TV. I'm picking Amara, as I already said. I'm also picking Elle. She's a junior. I think the dramaturgical studies could be such an asset for Survivor because all she does is research, motivation, what makes people tick. And the other person that does things about what makes people tick is, believe it or not, Zoey in cognitive science. I'm picking Zoey. I think she's a senior. If she can use what she's learned to her advantage, she should be able to make some damage. And I love that she is no holds bar herself. We see Survivor winners, sometimes that takes them to the end.
I tried to think more like, who do I actually think more than who I want? Because if it was who I want, I'd just be saying like Zoey, Olivia, like all the personality people that I don't think are going to do well socially.
Lee wants to win this competition, you're saying, so.
I'm serious. It's my first thing here. I have a guy and a girl. My guy, I kind of forgot this. I forgot an important detail about him, but I'm going to stick with him. I said Kevin. I don't know why. I just think he has something where it's like, I feel like he's going to be that one that everybody is going to go to and be like, I need Kevin as a vote, and he has so many decisions to make. Also, I feel like people named Kevin always do decent, bar that one in Michigan. And my girl, who I really want to win, is Dorothy. I think she's really smart. You said she's a fan of Survivor, so she knows the game. I see her. I'll get more into it when we're talking about her. So Kevin and Dorothy.
Naomi?
I have to hop.
Bye, Shane. We'll talk soon. You will be here for the episodes.
Hear what you guys have to say. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Shane.
Shane. Yes, thank you so much to Shane. And don't forget, by the way, that Scotty Survivor is on Instagram. So if you're not following them already, I don't know what the hell you're doing. So here's my winner pick is May. I think May rules. And hopefully she will have the kind of mix that takes her really far. So let's circle back to where we left off talking about this cast and our assessments.
Absolutely.
Circle back.
We circled back to Corey.
I've been in quarantine way too long. Corey. Leo just had to say Corey is irresistible in all ways, brain and body. Leo.
Oh,
I assume that this is the Leo from the cast, and I just want to say big fan. All right. What do we think of Corey, Lee?
Yeah, I thought Corey came off very confident. I can definitely see him being controlling of a pre-merge. I have him assuming when it merges, because I don't think we know it all. I have him going like very early merge, because I think he's going to be that one guy that's like, everyone's like, we have to get rid of Corey, he's a physical threat. And I think okay, this is going to sound horrible. I think all the girls are going to go to him. Purely for the looks, because I would. And I just see him being a leader type role. And that usually doesn't go well merge-wise. It goes well pre-merge-wise and sometimes swap-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely see him probably rubbing some people the wrong way.
I'll pick up on what you're saying. You said a little
Yeah.
overly confident. I said way overconfident. And he was like, everything was rehearsed. He had everything down, exactly what motions he was doing. So I thought it was just a little bit too much. However, huge beer fan as well, Corey. So I don't mind if you're far into the game because of that point. So good luck to you.
I have Corey getting to the halfway point for sure. I'm really intrigued by this major, guys. Human-computer interaction. Never heard of it, but I think that's a definition of playing Survivor, because from my experience, you're either playing with people who are very real or they're game bots. And so if he can have a human game bot interaction, he might be able to do decent, at least at the beginning of Survivor when there's a ton of different personalities in the game.
Yeah, also someone from Long Island. I feel like, okay, I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Long Island. Lee, what do you know about Long Island? Tell me, Lee, as a person not American.
Okay, I don't know much about Long Island itself. I just know about the state of New York. If you're from New York, you're automatically a big personality. You're real with people. You don't bullshit. And this is coming off of me watching shows of people in New York and the one New Yorker I interact with. They're like very
Okay.
confident in themselves. So he definitely fits the New York.
Yes,
I don't want to say stereotype, but New York stereotype.
we deserve it. Yeah, I think like especially Long Island is like is such a sort of, it's like the Jersey of New York in a lot of ways. And so
Yeah,
either Corey's going to be really loudmouth or he's going to have sort of learned how to tone it down because everybody else around him is loudmouth. And so we'll see which side of him comes out. But I'm excited. I think Corey seems fun. And I will support every New Yorker on this cast. Go off. Who do we have next? Oh,
Lee,
go ahead, Lee.
he actually has 3 connections.
That's
in the
right.
past. You know,
So we forgot about our connections list.
yeah, I just remembered.
I didn't even know about the connections list. So
So he actually has a connection with 2 people on the other tribe and 1 on his own.
Yes. So we have
I'm just
Corey
excited with his connection with beer. So totally.
Oh yeah, and beer.
So Corey and Leo are friends and they're in the same frat. Corey and Olivia are acquaintances, and those are the cross-tribal sort of friendships. And then Corey and Zoey are from the same theater club. And again, they're theater clubs. We know, look, I did theater for a very long time, embarrassingly so, and I understand a theater connection. So we'll see how that goes for them.
Mm-hmm. But we have Dorothy.
Dorothy. Now, my first instinct is that Dorothy being from LA is probably pretty beneficial to her because someone whose like hometown is LA, it's like the same as like someone whose hometown is New York. Like those kids were like taking the bus when they were like 8. And you're like, that's a grown up. I don't understand how they know how to do this. So that to me says like, if Dorothy has her shit together, she's going to go really far.
I think her background, she's studying in politics. I think that's really going to help navigate the experience of the game. Ideally, she does want to make friends and get to know people. However, her background and her study of politics will help navigate those tricky situations where you have to kind of lie, but kind of not. I mean, that's politics, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited. I think especially like economics and statistics too is like the math, the numbers, like Dorothy can have it all. The one thing I think is that when we look at this, Dorothy's only connection seems to be Leo. And we know that Leo's kind of a villain. And maybe if you align yourself with somebody who's a strong personality, we don't know if they're even aligned. We just know that they know each other from their major. So I feel like if you that's good or bad. Either they could like align with you, or they could say, "Get a load of this person," and then vote you out.
Oh, for me, I have Dorothy making merge. I think her connections and just I get the vibe, and we just heard she knows Survivor. I didn't get that from her video. I think that's enough to know. I think that's the clue. We know she's not first boot.
No.
Mm-hmm. She's not first boot. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to say that Jersey is the Jersey of New York. Correct comment.
Yeah.
Lee, what do you think?
I really liked Dorothy straight off the gate. I said earlier she's my female winner pick. I have her coming second. And I have her coming second because I think she's going to make moves, but I don't think the jury's going to respect her moves. And I don't know why I'm getting with the jury I have made in my little fantasy world. I just see them not respecting her moves and voting for somebody else. But I'm really excited for her. I definitely want her to win. The fact that she knows Survivor and a lot of these people don't know Survivor, she can easily use that to her benefit. So I'm very excited for her. I really hope she makes it far.
Yes, someone I'm also rooting for kind of strongly. I hope that Dorothy does well. And I like to see, especially like the younger kids go pretty far, you know, because a lot of the time, like, it'll be like either a whole freshman alliance and they'll be really messy, or it'll be like, just the juniors and seniors who know each other sort of run the game. So I hope that like some of these younger kids go far. Also, I love Jersey kids are a dime a dozen at Carnegie.
Where is CMU located?
So Carnegie Mellon is in, and this is going to be embarrassing, it's in Pennsylvania. So, oh God, this is going to be brutal. Do you guys want to take this? Hang on, okay.
I don't know.
I'm just embarrassed about how much I don't know. Pittsburgh, it's in Pittsburgh, that's right.
So.
I don't even
So
know.
it's in
Somebody
Pittsburgh,
in the
Pennsylvania.
Comments, please help us. Somebody in the comments.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
do
We're just
shout
giving
out.
some context.
I know where
So,
Pennsylvania is.
Well, yes. So Pennsylvania, but I want to, and I'm pretty positive about this. I'm going to look at a map to double check, but I'm pretty sure that Pittsburgh's on the side of Pennsylvania that is closer to Ohio, whereas a city like Philadelphia is closer to New York.
Closer to New
But
Jersey.
it's a pretty big gap. Yeah.
There we go.
And now everyone's, so for anybody who's watching the YouTube stream, the YouTube comments come in about like a minute behind what we say. So if we don't share them immediately, it's just because they're a little delayed. But yeah, here we go. 5-hour drive to New Jersey. Shout out to anybody making that drive. And we're going to get to somebody who made a huge drive in a little bit.
But here's Elle.
Elle. I love this photo so much. What a serve. If this was RuPaul's Drag Race, this would be the top 2 of the week. I cannot handle it. It's so good. Lee, what do you think of Elle from Houston, Texas?
Trend alert is mood. Yeah. Elle, she seemed I actually have her going post swap. I see her I don't know why, but I feel like her and Sarah's game, so we'll get to later, will be kind of similar, or at least it's similar in my head. I see her getting swap screwed. Like, I see her being in a minority. She's going to be with her group of her old tribe. She won't flip on them. And she's going to be the safe vote for the majority to vote her off. I'm kind of hoping she makes it far, because what I'm hearing from what James said, she seems like she'd be entertaining to watch. I don't know exactly what I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this right. Dramaturgy is?
Dramaturgy.
We have a drama teacher actually right here.
So a lot of people don't know what this major is, and it's not offered at a lot of schools. Basically, this is like a research assistant for a director of a movie or usually a play, and they're going to be researching like do all the props fit for this time period? Do the accents and regionalism sound authentic? So they're really looking for authenticity, and they're really the director's research assistant. They're not an assistant director because they're more focused on the text-based stuff.
Oh, okay.
Nobody
Leo
knows.
says nobody knows.
I'm also curious.
Go ahead.
How did you get suspended in kindergarten?
That's
love
wild,
that.
but also again, Lee, Texas is wild. In the
hear.
span of New York states, or sorry, in the span of the United States. I've had such a brain fog day, and I apologize to everyone who's had to listen to this podcast for me.
Is New York.
Texas is crazy. I don't know, like Texas is crazy. But here's my thing about Elle. Elle reminds me a little bit of Chloe from Survivor Michigan season 3. Where Chloe was actually in a pretty good spot and just kind of went in sort of a shitty position. But I think that if she, I don't want to like disparage anybody because I do think Elle looks really fun. I want to see her forever. But if she has a mean girl side and if it comes out on camera, I feel like that could be bad for her. So I'm hoping that she's got like a ton of joy and positivity and everybody really wants to work with her.
Because this picture totally shines like joy and positivity.
This photo feels like she was cast as Regina George and she turned down the part because she didn't feel like it. Like this photo is such a serve. I cannot handle it.
I'm super excited. She seems like a total badass, and I can't wait to talk to her whenever her cast interview is for us. And because I really want to find out her justice for cutting in line for the water fountain. Just saying. Super excited.
And we can't really talk about, positivity and joy until we get to Leo. I think Leo's going to be the one that really has the overwhelming positivity for us.
He's just going to be a ray of sunshine. He's going to make Amara look like a dim light.
We have Eric next.
All right, Eric. Eric, who I assume is the Eric in the comments talking up New Jersey. You're wrong, but it's fine. And first of all, Eric, the freshman, and I remember Shane had said he's got a lot of confidence. Maybe it's misconstrued cockiness. I kind of love that dynamic in any season. Not the same, but you guys, I think Tony from Survivor Maryland, where he was just all over the place and like so sort of brazen and everything. I feel like I want some chaos agent like that, and I hope that's what Eric is.
Oh God, Black
similar
Empire
to his
Tony.
Similar to his major, he said in the interview, undecided. And I'm kind of undecided about where to put Eric. He's overly confident. He seemed, I think he leapt off a couch or something just for his intro video, which seems very athletic. So that's points there. But pretty much, I'm pretty undecided on Eric.
Okay.
Next. It was Hallie, right?
Yes, Hallie.
I wrote it down, just like Hallie from Boston. So, Hallie.
Yeah, exactly. Probably the same placement as well.
I mean, I think, look, you got to watch out for a politics major. They are dangerous. I don't know why, but they are. But he's a freshman, so maybe it's not as bad.
And
I like Hallie.
Super laid back as well, I thought. So,
yeah. I think you want somebody who's really laid back to sort of counter maybe the craziness, especially in Survivor, in college Survivor, right? It's like meeting a group of people that you're going to be forced to interact with for many, many months. And so you're trying to sort of present your fun side without presenting your crazy, overeager side. And I think that Hallie is someone who probably can sort of just be fun without being the sort of like, whoa, this person is a lot, unlike me.
Didn't Shane say Hallie was had a villainous streak in the interview?
I hope. Yes.
One of them. Yeah, he was one of the few that said he wanted to be a villain. Which
Yeah.
is usually a red flag for me.
What is that, Lee, about these politics majors wanting to be villains when they come into Survivor? Whereas I think going into politics, you generally want to be the people's hero. This is strange.
I mean, I don't know much about politics. For what I'm here, everyone is lovely. Nobody's a villain in politics.
That was a very political answer. Nice job.
Wow.
Yeah. Whenever somebody says they're going to play a villain, I usually eye roll at them because I'm like, no. It's like they want to be a villain because that's usually the most entertaining to watch. Like you think of actual Survivor, you think of all the villains like Tony, Parvati, Courtney. Sandra, like all of them, you mostly think the villains. People don't really think of the hero aspect. But Shane also said that he's a really nice guy and wants to be friends with everyone. So it's kind of like two very conflicting things. Like he wants to be a villain, but he wants to be everybody's friend.
Mhm.
I have him like right before merge, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Kind of
Yeah, I can see that.
Right? Mhm.
Yeah. He does seem chill though. Like every group does need the straight man in the group. Like not everyone can be the over personality. Somebody has to be the one to rein it in. He could
Yeah.
do them.
And I love his hair.
A great hair.
Great hair. Well, I think also we saw on Survivor Maryland, people who are villainous and have a sneaky side can go very far. They don't necessarily, if they're not caught, they can just cruise through. I wonder if Hallie might even have the abilities of like a Doug or someone like that to make it really far in. I don't know. I don't know.
No. Oh, I hope.
See, I like to see first episode before I really like put a stake in
Yeah.
someone, but
I love how we're using the terms of college survivors and live reality games, people that we know and are relatable to these characters too. We're not necessarily going 100% like hardcore on the show Survivor or like the Big Brother players, but we're taking the concepts of these live games and bringing them to other live games. It's just
It's
I mean,
that's
it's
a little
like-
meta, but it's true. Like Naomi, you're making people iconic by talking about them and doing these recaps. And Dustyn, you are too. It's true that sometimes it's easier to compare somebody to Ryan and Margaret than Tony and Sarah from the TV show.
yeah, and it's a more interesting relationship. I also have to say that I think the meme where it's like Dr. Doofenshmirtz and it's like, oh, if I had a nickel for every time this happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice. And I feel like that's about iconic Dr. Wills in social strategy games. It's like it's weird that there's 2 of them, but I'll take it.
I got some comparisons, but they're the later people.
Okay.
let's see. So honestly, one of my first boots on the list of first boots here, I think might be Jacob. Based on the fact, his fun fact, he always has the hoodie on, and he never wore a hoodie in the intro video. So I don't trust him already. So
Yes, we had a comment about that. Let me go find this. Yeah, never once has been seen wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, I don't even think he's wearing a
Don't
hoodie
trust
in
him.
this
Don't trust
picture. Watching, we never seen him wear a hoodie in the 2 episodes he's in.
So shady from Lee.
I have him second booth because I'm sorry, Audrey.
I'm in second as well, actually. So nice choice.
Yeah.
Jacob, please prove us wrong, though. We're a huge fan of everyone. Even the dog wants some.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
like-
I have faith in Jacob. I believe in the power of
He's
Jacob.
from Queens.
Jacob wants to play, I think.
Yeah, you don't fuck with someone from
Really-
Queens. Let me tell you.
Oh,
But will they
Sorry,
get
is
the
there a
opportunity to
cursing on this
play?
podcast? Sorry.
no, it's so true. I know people from Queens, so
Any other thoughts, Lee, about Jacob?
Yeah, like Dustyn, I also have in a second boot. I can see him just that. Like, I don't see him bringing much. I see him like kind of keeping to himself. Like he would want people to come to him, but everyone else is making alliances while he's waiting for alliances, and then he just gets cut second. Trying to remember, what tribe is he on again?
Jacob is on he's on the Orange tribe. So I'll just read these names, but we'll share this in a little bit. But Olivia, Anthony, Dorothy, Audrey, Elle, Jacob, Leo, Jarrell, and Hallie.
Okay,
And
so yeah.
So yeah,
if
we're
his-
about halfway through the cast list. I just want to say for everyone tuning in still, the next episode and first episode will air this upcoming next week about the same time, 8 o'clock on YouTube for Scotty Survivor. And of course, follow us on YouTube at Live Reality Games, and then also at our viewer group too, which you can find Scotty Survivor on Facebook viewer group to follow all these podcasts. So
And make sure to support the people who are giving us the content themselves, Scotty Survivor, especially on Instagram. I love a good Instagram post. You will find me in the comments being being sort of a mom to everybody, just being like, 4 for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco. But it'll be for Jacob. Go, Jacob. I'm rooting for you. Please do
Prove
Queens
us wrong.
proud.
Yeah.
Prove us wrong and go home like third.
All right.
Jarrell.
Jerome, one of my personal favorites as well. I know I didn't put you in
No,
like
Jarrell.
Jarrell.
Jarrell. Let's get it right.
Oh my God. Which one? We don't even know. We don't even know.
This is an Anissa situation. Is it Anissa, Alyssa,
Mhm.
Clarissa?
I thought he was super entertaining. His comments were so funny that he runs away from a soccer ball and he trips when he goes outside because he's inside too much. Like super, like this is the sarcastic humor. Like I'm thinking like Liv from like Backyard Survivor in Australia and how her intro video was like, I hate people, but really she like honestly loves people. It's just humorous and it's so funny. Jarrell, anything like
Gerald. I literally
Jarrell.
just went to Instagram to watch the video back. It's Gerald.
Fantastic. Huge fan. So good luck to you.
Yeah, I think what Gerald has is like the humor that you need, especially as a freshman, to get people to like you. Is you need the sort of weapon of humor to make people sort of want to hang out with you.
100%. And I don't think, like you said, he's not super physical. He's not going to come across as a threat to people. So I have Jarrell going deep into the game as well, especially also being in the computer science classes might potentially connect him with a few other contestants.
Mm-hmm. Lee, what do you think?
I like Jarrell. He seems like really smart. I don't remember if Shane said he knew the game, but if he does, that can easily be used to his advantage. I see him going mid-merge. I see him wanting to make moves, but they're not going to work and probably come back at him. So, but he definitely seems like somebody that he is going to entertain everyone.
Right. He's here to entertain the masses. Don't get it twisted. And I also think, from Singapore, not that he's like the foreign exchange student or anything, because he's definitely not. But I do think that people really love somebody who is from another country, and that's really interesting to them. And I feel like, in college, you want to meet, the worldly experiences of people. So you might want to keep someone around who is not from America originally. That sounds fun, right? Be in an alliance with someone from Singapore. Why not?
And we had Chile earlier with Amara, so too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's something fun about that.
All right, also something fun here, Kevin. I'm concerned he is. I know someone said he might go really far in the game. I think based on his fun facts and him being so far away, he's a quick boot for me. I'm sorry to say, Kevin. Good luck to you, but he might get medivacs based on his fun fact. Breaking your wrist 3 times. I'm concerned. Play safe.
Yes. I mean, look, I agree. I think if you are trying to... Okay, I was right. San Ramon is not near the LA area. It is near the San Francisco area. I'm so good at geography. I think that Kevin and the next contestant who's also remote, there's a danger where you can really be blindsided because people will just say, you know what, let's just get rid of the people who aren't here. It's an easy excuse. The same way it's an easy excuse if someone blows a challenge. But at the same time, I think it sounds like Kevin is kind of trying to work to keep the bonds going. And is trying to work to keep things and keep himself in the game. So I have faith in Kevin, a business major. Like, come on, that guy's got tenacity. Lee, what do you think?
I said I had Kevin as my winner pick, and I didn't know why. I forgot that he was a remote student. I thought in his interview it was similar to what Cushy said, where it's like, not right now, but will be there when filming. I don't know what it is. I just see him being like under the radar, but in control at the same time as well. And people are going to realize that too late, and like he's going to get to the end, just win it all.
He's literally under the radar. He's not there.
I know.
Like, I'm still trying to figure out how is he going to perform in a challenge. Here's Lee. This is why I think he gets booted early. But this is coming from my experience in Survivor, which is so different from this. It's like usually people want to keep people who are going to perform well in challenges in the initial rounds of Survivor. And if somebody's not present, how are they helping you at the challenge? Isn't that the first boot? So my question, I have them going early, but it's based on what their challenges actually are. If these are some unique cross, like almost like online reality game meets live reality game challenge, maybe there's this mixture, maybe they could do quite well.
Yeah, and also, so I played a couple orgs in quarantine, and I think that something that I've noticed is that if there's somebody that I like, I usually bond with them really quickly. And obviously in org, you're trying to bond very quickly. And get people to like you. But in this instance, I do think that like there is kind of this ability to, if you have the personality for it, get people to like you, find who you think you would align with very quickly, and then build the crap out of that relationship so that you stay in the game. Because at the end of the day, like there's kind of a benefit to like having the remote kid, because it's kind of like you're never going to stumble across him on campus. You're never going to see this person.
He's not going to pick up an idol on campus, so
right. So you kind of you know that he's a good number to have in the pocket.
Yeah, you know that you're not that no one's going to see you two talking together. No, he's never going to run into you. Yeah,
exactly. Although you might make a few mistimed phone calls.
Yeah,
just being like, "Hey, you want to talk?" And you're like with somebody else.
So true. And screenshots could potentially ruin Kevin's game.
Yeah, if you
we'll have to ask Shane. Yeah, we'll have to ask Shane if there's a screenshots rule. I love a good screenshots rule.
I do too.
Me too.
Yeah. Also, as somebody who is not from America, who has done a lot of orgs where majority of the cast is based in America, I know what it's like to be sent home early because you're the one kid far away. So,
right,
Kevin, live my dream and win.
Speaking of somebody also far away during the first part of the game, Cushy here, instant favorite in my book, like 100%, like best of luck.
She is so pretty. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like the bone structure. Congratulations. This photo is like a serve again. I agree. Cushy, I think, is somebody who will. First of all, the fun fact I couldn't relate to more. Accidentally memorizing song lyrics. Why do I know the lyrics to Blurred Lines? I don't even want to. I really think that like Cushy is someone who will be a perfect under the radar, and I'm gonna say it like a Michelle Fitzgerald, you know, just cruising in and then being like, give me $1 million, you know.
One of her biggest things, she wants to make friends, and if you make friends, you're gonna make alliances. So I think that's a great strategy to have right off the bat.
Friendship is just a nicer word saying a line. It's her and Kevin that have kind of like the Tommy Christie BB21 relationship, right? Where they know each other but not on a good history.
They're from the same high school. They found out before even they knew the casting, so they didn't know that while casting. So
yes, and also yeah, it says they were not friends on our little cheat sheet, but then Cushy also knows Hallie. They met on virtual meetup. I don't know what that means. There's a lot of virtual places to meet, but they've met before.
We'll see when the episode comes out.
Just to comment on
we will see.
Just to comment on the Cushy Kevin relationship, even though they said they're not acquaintances, I think they're going to work together anyways, because we had a similar thing in Boston with Molly and Tony where they said they didn't like each other, but they still work together. So it might be like, even though we don't like each other, we kind of know each other, and I might need to rely on him. So it'll be interesting to see.
Better the devil you know.
And just to add it in, I have Cushy also getting to merge.
Oh, I don't.
Really?
What?
Oh.
And I don't know why. I just
see. I think
Kevin are on the same if her and Kevin are on this. Sorry, Naomi.
No, go ahead.
If her and Kevin are on the same tribe and it's not what I'm saying, where it's like they actually do hate each other and they're going to gun for each other, I see Cushy getting the back end of it. Sadly. Prove me wrong.
I hope she does.
I hope she wins.
But let's see, all the positivity in the world. Leo.
Yay, the ray of sunshine.
Leo having this crazy fun fact, one of 3 humanities students at Carnegie Mellon. What is going on at Carnegie Mellon?
Leo was just saying nobody understands dramaturgy. No, nobody really understands humanities these days, Leo. We need teachers like you.
Was he the one in the trailer that was like making the Nixon jokes and the Princess Diana ones?
I don't recall.
I don't
answer.
It looks like it was him, but when I listened to his interview, he had a much deeper voice than the one in the trailer.
All I can remember is overwhelming. I exude overwhelming positivity and joy. And me as a theater teacher, I just thought, Leo, your intonation, your subtext does not scream positivity right now.
It was him that
See, I would Leo is somebody that I would totally align with. I love a shit stirrer. I love somebody who's like, let's be dramatic and also villainous, because I think that's probably me. So I really am looking forward to Leo's journey, no matter what it is. Hashtag Leo's journey. I will be there for the whole thing.
All half season of it. Just saying. I don't know. But we do have May. I think we spoke really highly about her before, and super excited. I think she's super nice, and yeah. Oh,
I mean, yeah. I think the reason she's my winner pick is just because I think she's got a lot of stuff going for her. Like, there's just something about May that seems really put together in the way that you want to align yourself with somebody. You know, you want to choose an alliance member who's like cool and cool-headed and smart. You know, those are all the key things that I look for in someone I ever align with. And so I think that's what I want. Yes.
And I think her drive too, just like Shane or Shan put in the comments too, like she ate a Snickers and she doesn't even like it. Like, she is down for a dare and she's ready to like win. So I'm super excited to see that too.
How much is 1,300 calories of Snickers though? Isn't that just like 3 Snickers? Like, I feel like
isn't that like 1 Snickers? Aren't they like ridiculous? But she's also in the engineering school, and while there's a bunch of different areas of engineering, I'm assuming there's got to be some understanding of other areas. Like, if you're a chemical engineer, maybe you know people in the biomedical engineering building as well. So there's a lot of engineers in this cast. I feel like that could potentially be an asset. I also like that she's a junior, which puts her kind of a little bit. She has experience for the engineers. There's some freshmen and sophomores as well, so I think this could be a big asset for her. I have her going to merge as well.
Yeah, my one worry is that she could be also one of the people who's too busy for the game, especially considering she's late. You know, she's a junior in a tough major. I feel like that could be the one big downfall.
Yeah, May seems very fun, very positive. You're gonna hate me for this. I have her going 4th.
Oh my gosh.
I love that you guys write down every number. I just look at someone, I'm like, I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I see her going early because I think she's going. Shane said that she wants to play a loyal game, and I usually go when somebody says they're going to play strictly loyal, because like there's something as too loyal where it's like you're refusing to. I just see her being loyal to a fault, and then just her being caught at the end, and people are going to say like, "Oh, she's too nice." Like,
yeah,
I just see like her. Please, May, prove me wrong. Just,
right.
Like, far win. Let's see a nice person win.
Yeah, and also, hi AJ. People who don't like stickers screams untrustworthy, which is the exact opposite thesis that Lee is just trying to make. So that's perfect.
I mean, I don't like Snickers, so maybe that's why.
Oh
so
dear.
Yeah, maybe you guys would be a great alliance.
Yeah. Just fly me to Pittsburgh and sign me up for season 3.
We're gonna have to get you into Carnegie Mellon first too. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Michael. Michael joins us. Yeah.
Another Long Island king. Sorry, I don't.
No, my first thing is he has 3 different names. Just tell me, Michael, which one you want me to write down on this parchment first. Like, he was super, like, over the top. Like, I don't know.
What are his 3 names again?
It's Michael, my L, and
Gersh.
Big A, Big M. Just a big H automatically.
I think
I'm sure used to saying it.
Oh, I want to have a friend in college named Gersh. I feel like that's like the perfect, like, hey, my buddy Gersh. Stick with
short
that.
for Gershwin.
That's what I figured.
No, it's short for his last name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I saw music composition.
God
Gershwin.
bless.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, so I think that Michael is someone who I think could either go pretty far into the merge or could be a very easy, uninterested boot out. Someone who's not really invested in the game that you say, hey, what about Michael? Michael doesn't care about what's going on here. But I want to see. This is why I don't like making predictions until I've seen the episode, because that's when you really get to know how invested somebody is. And Corey has to say Mikey Ells. Lee, what do you think of Michael?
I think he will be invested. I remember in the trailer somebody screaming in the camera. If Mikey has the idol, so that makes me think he's definitely going to be invested. I have him going now. We don't know if it's a top 2 or top 3, do we?
No, we know. No idea.
Okay,
No
so
clue.
I have him in 3rd, assuming it's a final 3. I have him in 3rd with 0 votes to win. I see him being the one that's going to be dragged to the end.
Ooh, the 0 vote finalist.
Okay, I know this person didn't get 0 votes, but kind of should have. This comparison, Tim from Major Conflict. I see him being that kind of player where like he thinks he's making all these moves, like he's going to bring the wrong people to the end because same reaction when I was watching the season. Like
you agree, Naomi? I think this is light bulb.
This is like a please not again, but okay, we'll see. But you're not wrong, Lee. I don't think you're wrong.
I see him thinking like I'm making all these moves and keeping the biggest threat and voting off people that aren't going to win, and I'm keeping somebody with 3 idols.
Shane, do not tell us if it's a final 2 or a final 3. We want to be surprised. We want to know. We'll be surprised.
Yeah.
I want to add something about Gersh too, because I've been covering Maine, which has a music composer who writes original music for their episodes, and I've been all for this. And I think there's lots of YouTube series, Survivor series that could use their own music, so they stop getting copyrighted by Russ Landau. So, Michael, Gersh, if you want a gig, you might want to hit up this live reality game community, start talking to some of these editors, because I'm sure there's an opportunity to produce some of your content on episodes, if that's the genre you do. So just hit some people up.
Yeah, I hear Survivor New York is like always great production and everything, and right? Could have like original music with that too.
Look, let me tell you, you just got to look at free play music websites and you find it.
That's true.
Let's see. One of the most entertaining people by far in the intros, Olivia. Thank you for being there, bringing the entertainment value. 100%. Lee, you commented that you were a big fan, but this is not how you're doing your rankings. This is how I do my rankings. Like, go to the people I like. Olivia, go to the end, please. Like, make it entertaining for me.
I mean, when it's a vocal performance major, you're in for a ride. That's all I feel like I need to say here. But I feel like Olivia could go swap pre. I feel like I don't know that Olivia's going to make it all the way, but I want to hear it. I want to hear the whatever the performance is. Kirk, what do you think? Kirk, you're jumping at the bit.
Right. Naomi, you're right. I knew a lot of voice performance majors. I knew a lot of musical theater majors. We are all divas. So she's got a diva somewhere inside of her. Who knows when it's going to come out? Shane said she was batshit crazy, which can make an awesome contestant. And that's probably because she was hit in the head with a baseball by Adam Sandler. That said, I agree, Naomi. I don't think you're going to make merge, Olivia. That's my take on you. But I think you are going to make this a batshit crazy time for while you're on it.
And we're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually do have her making merge, but I have her like going like 8th. Like it's just a random placement.
Mm-hmm.
She reminds me of Isabella from Survivor Boston.
Mm-hmm.
The whole I'm there for attention, everyone's going to love me. The way she had her hair in the video just reminds me of how Isabella did her hair and sometimes in Tribal Council as well, which is kind of weird. I see her getting on people's nerves, but I really want her to make the merge. So she's like my one where I'm like, I don't think you're gonna make it far, but I'm gonna put you far anyway because I really want you to, and hopefully I'll put that into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a great picture. Another serve from Olivia, but I don't know. Olivia could even be like, we saw the iconic Teresa on Major Conflict, where Teresa just was type A and in control and knew what she wanted to do, and nobody wanted to do what Teresa wanted to do. And I feel like that could happen to Olivia if she's not careful.
I definitely think like Emerson should have been a backup college for her too. Like I think she would fit just fine with the Boston kids. So
I'm just imagining her and like Isabella like same cast.
Amazing.
Between Jacob and Charlie was a nightmare.
Now, Sarah, I didn't get as strong vibes as Shane was talking about earlier. The only thing I wrote down for Sarah, unfortunately, she was a little more quieter for me. She had a cute necklace. It was a turtle. That's what I got, Sarah. That's all I got.
She was an idol.
Also, Shane, don't add voice performance makers like I'm one of them. Sorry, Shane. It's true. Look, again, the drama club experience, we know. I went to college with a lot of kids. I went to a theater school for a little bit. Not for theater, but they were there. And look. Shane, I'm sorry, you can't escape it. We're old. We've seen everything. Yes, Sarah is a little bit on the quieter side, but I think that's to her benefit.
I agree, Naomi. I'm all for it. I think she's the quiet engineer of the bunch, or one of the quieter. I think she's going to have a crew already with her from her classes. She's a fan of the show, maybe not a super fan because we know she's working her way backwards. So maybe she'll kind of fall backwards into the merge. That's my plan. She'll figure it out as she goes.
Start with a season where I already know 20 people that win. I'm kind of more with Dustyn where like I don't have high hopes for her, but I have it for different reasons. I see her pairing up with somebody with these overconfident guys like Eric or Corey, her making the merge, but then having an idol or winning an immunity, and then everybody voting her because she's associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just see that with her.
Yeah, kind of like maybe like a Jeffra, not in any sort of personality way, but in the like position in the game wise, right? Like
I was thinking more Kira from Survivor Yukon.
I
was thinking more of that.
I can't even make a Survivor comparison anymore. It has to be College Survivor.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, I love it. And I like Sarah. Sarah, Shane, let me know if Sarah's Jewish. I'm going to guess she is. And I always root for the Jew on any season of College Survivor. And Cherry Hill, New Jersey, I think Sarah is smart. She's a chemical engineer. Holy crap. Stuff I could not do. But I do think that what might be her downfall is the quietness, or I think it could even be that she just is too busy. Again, the busyness level of some of these players and whether she can contribute fully to the tribe that she's on. Oh, and Shane says Olivia is friends with Brian from Boston.
Ooh, I can't wait for College Survivor, the musical.
I can't wait for College Survivor Winners at War. I can't wait for every single person to. They're just
my god!
Oh my god!
College Survivor Second Chances. Like, did they just all come from other places? That'd be great.
I'm so for this.
Yeah,
I feel like we're so. Go ahead, Lee.
I made a fantasy Survivor Michigan versus Boston versus Maryland. I did explicitly Second Chances, and I just really wanted to happen.
Mhm.
Put it
My
out
winner
in
was
the-
Siobhan.
Oh,
We got this.
please make this happen someday.
Yeah, someone like.
Yeah, I feel like we're so
Somebody-
committed to the idea of like a college survivor. Like we like them all so much, and we think they're such good players that we might just be like, yeah, I'll be the adult who gets an Airbnb, like and makes a bunch of college kids fight for my amusement. Why not?
or
That's not creepy at all.
Can you do a little thing into?
or we contact CBS. We tell them, listen, here's the theme. Survivor college students, but they're all students that have played in different college survivors. We put them on an island. We make them do it. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, CBS. If you steal that idea, you owe Lee like $100,000. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I'm hosting the show. Sorry.
They
guys.
have like college Wheel of Fortune. Why can't they just have college Survivor on an island? I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, they cast college students. Just make it the entire cast.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right.
So
So next up is not David Bowie. We have Zoey. Okay, I was trying to
Zoey.
sing like her. Okay.
That was great. That was great. I put that. I whispered to him. I'm like, can you do a sing like intro for Zoey? So I put him on the spot, and I should have gave you more prep time. I'm sorry, but it was fantastic.
It's okay, Zoey. You are one of my top 3 picks. I don't think you're going to win, but I think you could get there. I hope you do.
You could do a duet.
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh, she's here. Yay.
Yay.
Yay,
Zoey.
Zoey. And I say this in the nicest way. I mean, this is such a high compliment. Zoey feels like every kid I went to band camp with, and I love her. And I really am rooting for her as well. And cognitive science, what a major. You know, like, Lee, what do you think of Zoey?
Zoey, please make it far. I want you to make it far. I have her in 6th place. I see her, another Yukon comparison. She reminds me of Catherine from the first Yukon season.
Okay.
Dry, hates everything. Just a big personality that I see her being the player like ever. She's not going to be in many pre-merge. For some reason, I feel like her tribes are going to win a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If not, they better break the show somehow. And then everyone's going to constantly say her name each episode, like to make a real Survivor comparison. She's not going to be like this player, but you know, Karishma, where everyone brings up her name every episode, but she still never goes home. I feel like something like that. And
I
then
can totally
finally,
see that too.
yeah, and then finally, where it's like roast me.
Oh.
So he wants us to roast her. So let's all brainstorm. Well, Lee, finish your thought.
Yeah, so I just see her her name constantly coming up, and then at the final 6, people are like, okay, we can finally get rid of her at this point.
I think my thing is that with Zoey, I feel like we heard that the song was quite the calamity, or just quite the talking point of the group. And I feel like if I was like a really sort of tired college student, right? I'm flashing back to like being really angry at the whole world. I'd be like, I want to vote out the girl who wrote a song. I don't want to deal with her. But that's mean because I like the song now. But if I was in college, I probably would have been like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, Zoey, if you can't get to the end of Survivor with a cognitive science degree, you might want to give that back to Carnegie Mellon.
And she said she can recite all of Ella Enchanted, which is nice for me because I remember loving that movie when I was younger.
Great movie. Good taste. Makes me happy that people still know what that movie is and aren't like, that's an old person movie.
No,
I mean,
You know how Gen Z is.
The fun fact, we had some fun facts. Previous, like Boston, we had some very useless knowledge come out about a contestant, and they, ended up winning it. Like this random little thing. They won it. So
okay.
I tried doing it, but I got stuck at X.
I'm really excited. I think, look, overall, this is a kick-ass cast, and I think for a first season, here's the big thing. I know we saw it really affect Survivor Maryland was the friendships that people had. And I think for a first season, there's not a lot of friendships, not a lot of deep, close personal relationships between people. People know of each other. They know casually of each other. But it's not like a situation where it's like, oh no, it's going to be the same people over and over again in power. I'm very excited to see what this cast has to say and do.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to see the interviews of these like super over the top characters and to dive into their gameplay and just about their experience too, just as people. Like all these people, I'm super excited to see more of and to watch. First episode does go live next week on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on YouTube for Scotty Survivor. So,
yeah. Lee, any closing thoughts on the cast?
This cast actually seems great. Usually for most first seasons, especially the college ones, it's usually like, it's okay. Like, it's kind of boring, like not many interesting votes. It's mostly unanimous. But for this cast, and especially with what I saw in the trailer and what Shane was saying earlier, I'm very excited. Like, I feel like we're going to get like a Michigan level first season where we get like a rock draw, too many tie votes, and just a lot of idol plays and just craziness.
Yeah,
And,
I'm hoping for like I want somebody to be like Maggie on Michigan season 2, like getting
Yeah.
drunk doing. I miss that energy so much, and I want that so badly. I guess you can't really have that because it's COVID, so never mind. But like,
Yeah.
I just need somebody
They
to bring
just
that
get drunk
energy
at home.
back.
that's what Corey's here for. Corey, drink those beers. Get through that
Yeah.
list.
Give us another blackout tribal.
Mhm.
Iconic blackout tribal. Kirk, what do you think?
I am so stoked for this season. It just seems like such a fun, diverse cast. I love the age groups. We have graduate students all the way to we have PhD students all the way to freshmen playing Survivor together, which is a great range, and such cool personalities. I can't wait to get to actually know these people in episode 1.
I agree. That's what I always look forward to. I love a first episode. And you definitely need to make sure that you're subscribed to Scotty Survivor on YouTube because you don't want to miss an episode. The trailer is out. And I think overall, we can't thank Shane enough for joining us. And Shane's going to be with us throughout the season, letting us know the details of everything that went on. We can't thank enough all the people who watched. It's a treat to have you comment, and we hope to talk to you every week about what's going on in the show. And Lee, thank you for being here with us. Dustyn and Kirk, thank you for joining me. I had a freaking blast, and I can't wait to talk more.
Me too. And really quick, I will be doing Maine tomorrow as a reminder. And there is going to be a nice little surprise podcast right afterwards where we are going to talk to some of the people involved with Survivor Pacific Northwest, some of my friends out there. So I'm very stoked to do that. It'll be a long night for me.
And we appreciate all the feedback and support we've gotten for our new 2021 fundraiser to raise funds for our streaming costs. Thank you for the new seasons that we can cover too because of that. So anybody that can donate, we appreciate it fully. Thank you. If you can't, we understand. It's tough for everyone out there. So thank you for the people that have so far.
Yes. And I just wanted to say that you can follow Live Reality Games on Twitter. And you can follow me on Twitter where I will update you about what I am talking about. I'm going to do a College Survivor live stream in a couple weeks just about how you should be watching College Survivor. So I'm going to be complaining on Twitch Live if you want to check that out. But most importantly, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to connect with us, to find out every single detail about every live reality game that is out there. We have it all. I probably just froze there because you guys froze for me, but just follow us, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know the deal. You understand. We're all online. Oh my God, why is my Wi-Fi so bad?
Thanks, everybody.
All right, bye.
Bye.